Hi friends, welcome to Will and Real Arts. I'm Leslie, and today I'm going to be working on the second part of my collaboration with my friend Ava Bentley from BentleyHouseMinis. If you haven't seen part one, that is where I make a posable ice fairy, and I sent that to Ava, and Ava will be making a frozen scene where she'll place the ice fairy. And I can't wait to see what she makes. I will link Ava's video below. While Ava and I were discussing our plans for the theme Frozen, Ava asked if she could make me something as well. And I asked if she was interested in making the magic mirror gate for my NeverEnding story series. And without hesitation, she said yes. So Ava is going to be making me the magic mirror gate. I'll be sharing her mirror gate a little later in the video. So if you don't know yet, I am recreating scenes from the NeverEnding story. The end goal for my NeverEnding story project is for it to look like a 3D graphic novel, open book style, in miniature form. So if you like the sounds of that, please follow along on my journey.
First one is coming up. Next is the magic mirror gate. Our trio has to face his true self.
Let's get started with our mirror gate. I have a box here that I already made. This is 1/8 inch Baltic birch. These are the boxes I'm using for each room or diorama. They're either this size or a longer size. This will be what turns into my open book graphic novel in the end. So first what I want to do is I'm going to paint the inside of this box white just to hide some of the wood texture. For what I'm going to do, you might not even see any of that in the end, but I'm going to give it an overall coat of white. So let's do that. Everything has just a light coating of white. What I'm planning to do is turn this into an ice cave or a glacier cave, some kind of ice form cave where the mirror gate sits in the middle. This will be from Atreyu's point of view, looking into the mirror gate where he sees Bastion. So the first thing I want to do is add some lighting. And I typically do fairy lights, but for this build, I want the option of having color. So I have these LED strips. So this is the LED strip, and I think I might use this blue color that I have currently on. This comes in a variety of colors. For now, we'll put that aside. Because this LED strip comes with a plug, I need to make an exit hole for it. I am going to get my drill out, and I'm going to drill some area in here that I can eventually hide, and then make that where my plug will be on the outside of this box. Let me get my drill and we will do that. I decided to go with my Dremel instead. Thought it would be a little bit easier and maybe straighter. So let's do that. So that didn't turn out pretty, but we got the job done, and I'm gonna hide the space anyway, so you're not gonna see any of that. But at least I got a slot for my light. Next, it's time to add the lights. We're gonna unwind it off this cool roll. Cool little piece. Anybody have any ideas what I can turn this into other than a steering wheel? Let me know. These lights come with a sticky backing, and the plan is to thread them through this little space. First, get them all in here, and then I'm going to stick them where I want them to be. So we have our LED strip threaded through the little hole I made, and this part here will eventually be glued here. And then it's got the plug. Next, what I'm gonna do is take the tape off and proceed to kind of wrap the box in these LEDs and keep going around in like a spiral almost. These will be hidden, so hopefully all you'll see is the glow and not all the little doodads in the middle. But these lights are cool because you can use as much as you want, and they're made to snip. Everywhere there's like a scissor line, you can snip them. Can you reconnect them? I don't think so. I think once you snip, you're good, but if anybody knows, let me know. This was spliced here, but I guess you need to know how to do that. I'm going to get these attached around and around, and then I'm going to do that off the camera because that's really not exciting. I will show you what it looks like once I get to that point. I do plan on diffusing the light with my technique I'm going to do, making this into an ice cave. First, I want to light it up. I don't need to make them precise because I am going to cover them up. this is the plan. Now we have our lit up box. This is one of those trust the process moments because it just looks like a sci-fi adventure right now, but that's okay. The next step is to diffuse these lights so we don't look like we're in an alien spaceship. That's the plan next. Now, what are we going to use to diffuse those lights? Multiple things. Over the weekend, I was brainstorming different ideas, and then I came up with this. This is plastic and glue, and this is one of my little sample pieces. And what I'm going to do is take some of this plastic and glue in this ice cave. I want it to be glowing. This is the plan, and I think it's going to end up looking really cool. I also have some of this parchment paper, which I think I might lay over in some areas. So my different ideas to diffuse the light even more. We will definitely be using the glue ice crystal wall type thing, but I want to kind of diffuse it behind it before I even add that. So we have parchment paper as an idea. Tissue paper might even be a good start. That might even be better than parchment paper. Let's see if we like that. Let's try this back corner. If I push the tissue paper in here and then I add, that might be the way to go. I feel like that will diffuse the light so from them being like spotlights. Okay, this is exciting. So I'm just going to take pieces of tissue paper. Let's unplug you for now because, well, you know what? It's almost helpful to have it plugged in so I can actually see if I'm diffusing. Oh, my one other idea. My one other idea was bubble wrap. Well, that just accentuates it a little. Okay. Bubble wrap is a no-go. This is the tissue paper that Ara used to wrap some of the items she sent me. So we're even recycling that. Thanks, Ara. Stick down any little bits. Like, it's not even because that was kind of impossible to get it flat. I'm going to hide everything. So we're not concerned about that. Hot glue. And we're going to start in the back here. So I'm just going to continue this process off camera because it's just more of the same. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's all covered. Say goodbye to the sci-fi room. Gives me idea for future projects. We have our first round of diluting the color. Did I get the right word that time? Diffusing the color. So yes, we still have a little bit of the dots, but we're getting there. So this is just tissue paper. The bottom I just lined with parchment because I want to be able to add snow and different things here too. So I'm not going fully covered yet. The sides are looking pretty good. The back I need to do some work on as well. But again, I'm going to be adding different things in here. As you saw, I made some of these that's just made out of plastic wrap, or this is just trash plastic, and hot glue and saran wrap. It's not all hot glue. Before we get started on the ice wall and the icicles, so let's show you what Ara made for me. So we can bring it into the design and I can start working around what she made me. Got a nice little note from Ara. I'm so excited. Ooh. This is fantastic. This is gonna go perfect in my scene. Oh, I love it. Ara also sent me some wonderful gifts that I really appreciate. Thank you, Ara, so much. You've already seen me open it, but here it is. She did such a great job, and it's going to work so well in my series. And I can't wait to work this in my scene, and I really appreciate that Ara made that for me. Thank you, Ara. It is perfect, just how I imagined it would be, and I love it. So we have Ara's mirror gate that she made me, which is fantastic. As I said before, Atreus' point of view. So the mirror gate's in the forefront with the ice cave around it. Do I want the mirror gate here or do I want it a little setback? Basically gonna mark out where I want the gate to be. We're gonna set that guy off to the side and I want to show you how to easily make icicles. Over the weekend, While sitting in front of my fireplace watching movies with my son, I made some icicles. I want to show you how easy it is to make icicles out of glue and saran wrap. So what you want to do is take a piece of plastic wrap, saran wrap, whatever you like to call it. I'm just going to cut a piece down. It doesn't matter if it gets bunchy or tangled on itself. To give a good little point, you can take a toothpick or something skinny. So take your saran wrap, plastic wrap, and you can just twist it onto, this is just to give you a point. If you can twist it in your hands, go right ahead. But this is just an easy way to get a point. I like to twist it like that, pull off the toothpick, take your clothespin, pin it to something that you can hang from, then add your glue, and you're just gonna kind of paint with your hot glue gun. I like to work with the tip first. Okay, if you have, see this one's getting a blob, using this hot part of your glue gun, you can kind of mold it back into shape. All you do to form your icicles. Really easy, and they look like icicles. You get the stringies, don't worry about those stringies now, because you can just take a hairdryer or heat gun to them later and get rid of them easily. You may notice the color changing throughout the video. I'm just playing around with the different brightness, seeing how I like it. This is toned down a little bit, and I might like that more. I took one of my ice walls that I made out of this saran wrap and hot glue, and I just want to kind of build up the back because I don't want a too square area. Since I already made this, we're just going to go ahead and use it. Ooh, hot glue is hot. Don't burn yourself. So now that we know where our mirror gate's going to stand, we're going to work around it. We're going to probably be putting this in, taking it out multiple times. Okay. Move him. We're just going to continue adding our ice layers. I want to add some different layers of color in here, as if there's some like rocks in this cave as well. I went ahead and added some color to a icicle, and I just think it would look cool if there were some, like, not many, but different textures of color in the cave. I think that could be really cool. Not too much, just enough. The icicles, just like as is, are pretty cool too. I just think this gives it a little bit of added something. I'm just taking some of these pre-made icicles that I made. We are gonna glue them back here. Gonna do a little flipperoo here so I can get this guy in place. We're always keeping in mind where our mirror gate's gonna be. I flipped it around. Looks cool from this side too. And I am just gluing down some saran wrap here, some plastic wrap, just to give it some dimension and layers so it doesn't look like a flat roof. So we're just using a mixture of the plastic wrap, some regular PVA glue, and then a little hot glue on top, just in certain spots. Here, sent me some snow. It's the next day, and I just wanted to show you guys, in case anybody was wondering, how it looks without lights on. We still have a really cool look. The LEDs just make it an extra vibe. Let's show you what it looks like with the lights on, which is pretty awesome. The color I see in person is a different color than what the camera picks up. It's a little more turquoisey in person. We'll play around with that. Either way, it looks really cool. We're still going to work on hiding these sci-fi lights in the front, but I feel like we're getting the gist of what I'm looking for. Lights around are diffused enough. So we have the mixture of the hot glue, saran wrap, tissue paper, paint, and I'm thinking this looks like a really cool ice cave. Now I want to work on the mirror gate that Era gave me, and I'm going to place it in my scene. But first I'm going to do a little bit of added details to it. So let me show you what I mean. In the scene in the movie, Atreyu approaches the gate. In his reflection in the mirror, he sees Bastian looking back at him. What? So what I did was I took some pictures of my previous made dioramas, the one I made of Bastian and the one I made of Atreyu. I printed out the photos on transparent paper. We have Bastian and then we have Atreyu. And I want to keep Atreyu off-centered because I want you to see both boys. So in my vision, I want it to be kind of transparent so you do see the colors of everything around it. Just using a little hot glue to give it a little bit of a standoff. I'm gonna hide any little glue areas with snow. So this is the look I'm going for. So I'm really happy with that. And now I'm just gonna hide the areas that you can see. So let's go ahead and do that. There, we need a snow catcher. We have our glue. I think it's time to put the mirror gate inside the ice cave. Era gave me some crystals to work with, so I'm gonna add those. I'm gonna stare at this for a little bit and see if, do I need to add a figure of Atreyu in this, or do we just want the scene as is? I just don't know. That's a big question. It's been a couple days for me, friends, and I have just been staring at this for a little bit, and this is what it looks like without the lights on. I just want to add a tinge more of color. I'm just going to use some soft pastels and just kind of do a dry coating. I feel like this is going to give me a little bit, instead of going crazy with the paint, I'm just going to go in with some of these pastels and get a little tinge more color variant in the ice. Just a little bit here and there. So I'm just using different shades of blue, to dark blue to a little turquoisey blue. I also feel like I need a little bit more little teeny snow crystals hanging from the mirror gate, just here and there. Get some of these square spots a little less square. Okay, ooh, you can see the reflection of my pastels in the mirror. So I'm gonna turn off the bright light. I'm gonna take my heat gun. Let's get away some of these like crazy flyaways. So next I want to turn the lights back on. I'm going to try to fine tune the color I want. It's hard to go between like, do I want it really bright versus just low key? So I'm going to mess around with the color. The lights I have right now don't have like a save function. At least I haven't discovered it yet. So I can't just pick a color and be like, oh, that's it. I have to kind of fine tune it every time I turn on the lights. But that's okay. They look good in basically any blue tone. Plug it in. Okay. It looks really cool to me. I feel like I still want to go in a little bit more with my pastels while the lights are on to darken some areas, I think. Okay, I'm gonna play around with lights. I still think camera-wise, maybe that's too bright. So it's still a lot more turquoisey in real life than it is on camera. I toned it down some, which I do like it a little less bright. I'm gonna add some more snow in there, and then I think we're gonna call it, guys. You guys are gonna have to let me know if you think I need to add a sculpted character in here. I really don't think for this scene that I do. It would just be Atreyu in like this zone here, but it would be from the back. So I think I really like it the way it is. So off camera, I'm just working on hiding the box shape. I don't want to go too crazy because this part will be hidden within my full completed diorama. So I just want to kind of hide the edges a little bit, but still make it so it works with the next piece next to it. I'm going to do Gamork next. He's going to be on this side, and then on top will be sitting Falcor. We will have the Magic Mirror Gate over in this zone. Gamork, that's the wolf, the Nothing's companion. He's going to be here. He's the scary wolf guy that's been chasing Atreyu throughout the whole movie to try to get him. So he's going to be here. Falcor is going to be on top. So the other half of my diorama will be here. This will be the top. So bookstore and Bastion in the attic. Falcor on this side. I'll post again the photo that's my kind of layout here. Falcor at the top. Mirror Gate, Magic Mirror Gate, Gamork, a close-up of the Ivory Tower in space, the Childlike Princess. I have a full version of Fantasia, or it's also called Fantastica in the book. So I'm going to have a full version of the princess's ivory tower and maybe like this beautiful scenery. I'm getting excited. This is awesome. And here is the Magic Mirror Gate. I wanted to thank Ara for collaborating with me. Ara has been a great inspiration for me creatively as well as I go on my YouTube journey. She's extremely kind and supportive. If you're not already subscribed to Ara, please do so now. You will love everything she makes. I will link her channel in the description below. Thanks again, Ara, and thanks for watching. Check out the final photo results of the Magic Mirror Gate. Thanks, guys.